What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Master Duel Evil Twins deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun deck to play on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, especially since we just got an awesome bundle for this deck. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Kiss-a-Kill. Kiss-a-Kill has an awesome effect that if this card is normal or special summon, and you control no other monsters, you can special summon a Lila monster from your hand or deck, instantly getting you 2 monsters on your side of the field so you can start link summoning. We then play 3 copies of Lila. Lila has the exact same effect as your copy of Kiss-a-Kill, but this card summons out a Kiss-a-Kill monster, which is great. If this card is normal or special summon and you control no other monsters, you can special summon a Kiss-a-Kill monster from your hand or deck, which is amazing to get 2 monsters out on your side of the field so you can start link summoning. We then play 2 copies of Kiss-a-Kill Frost. Kiss-a-Kill Frost is great as a 2-of extender in the deck, as if you control a Lila monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, if a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand by a card effect, while you control an evil twin monster, you can banish this card in the graveyard to draw a card. We then play a single copy of Lila Treat. Lila Treat is really good as a 1-of in the deck because this card is just a really good extender because if you control a Kiss-a-Kill monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, when either player takes battle damage involving an evil twin monster, you can banish this card from the graveyard and then target one face-up monster your opponent controls and it loses attack equal to that battle damage, which is a great effect just to drop one of your opponent's attack points monsters down a little bit. We then play a single copy of Evil Twins, Kiss-a-Kill, and Lila. Evil Twins, Kiss-a-Kill, and Lila is a great boss monster to be able to summon out to your side of the field, as you can easily summon this card out and it becomes absolutely massive on your side of the field, because this card has the ability it must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by attributing 2 link monsters on your side of the field. And if this card is special summoned, you can actually activate this effect that if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, they must send some to the graveyard so they only control 2, which is an insane ability. This card also has a really insane ability that while you have a Kiss-a-Kill monster in your graveyard and you have a Lila monster in your graveyard, this card gains 2200 attack and defense, boosting this card to 4400, which is insane so you can go in for game. We then play 2 copies of Meow Mine. Meow Mine is really cool as a 2-of in this deck. This card is just a really good extender, as if a link monster is on the field or in either player's graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is a great effect to instantly get this card out on your side of the field. And if a link 2 monster that you control is sent to the graveyard or banished face up, you can actually banish this card in the graveyard if it was there, or from your hand, to be able to target one card that your opponent controls and return it back to the hand, just bouncing a card off the field, which is so cool to be able to use your Meow Mine to basically just use it as an extender and a bounce. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is really good as a 3-of in the build, basically just to stop your opponent from touching the deck. We also play 3 copies of Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre is really good right now against Tempai, so we're definitely playing 3 copies of this card. We then play 3 copies of Max C. Since it is a Master Duel deck profile, you gotta play 3 copies of Max C because this card is absolutely broken in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, so it lets us draw a card every single time our opponent special summons. We then play 2 copies of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is great as a 2-of in the deck just to stop your opponent's monster effects. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is great as a 1 in the build just to stop your opponent's hand traps when you're going in for all of your plays. We then play 2 copies of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is definitely a 2-of in the deck, basically just to stop your opponent's hand traps, just like your copy of Crossout Designator. We then play 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. Triple Tactics Talent is great as a 2-of in the build, because this card has the ability to let you draw 2 cards, take control of one of your opponent's monsters, or look at your opponent's hand and choose a card from it and shuffle it into the deck, which is an amazing ability to be able to use to basically just stop your opponent in their tracks or get some extending plays. We then play 3 copies of Secret Password. Secret Password is great in this deck because this card has the ability to let you add a live twin or an evil twin spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is an amazing ability to instantly get to your copy of Sunny Snitch. We then play 3 copies of Sunny Snitch. This card is amazing in this deck as a 3-of, because when this card is activated, you get to add a live twin monster from your deck to your hand, basically being a Rhoda for the deck, making secret password the Rhoda for the Rhoda, which is insane. This card also has the ability, while you control an evil twin monster, each time your opponent normally special summons a monster, you gain 200 life points, and if you do, you inflict 200 points of damage to your opponent, which is great just to do a little bit of burn damage to the opponent. We then also play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplets. Droplets is amazing in the deck as a 3-of to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and half the attack points of your opponent's monsters, which is great to be able to use this card and break their board. This card is amazing in the deck as a 3-of and just really good overall, especially since the live twin monsters can actually bring themselves back from the graveyard off of each other, which is great to be able to do. So this card is really good in the deck overall, just to stop your opponent. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3, and that's going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is really good as a 3-of in the deck, just to stop your opponent's monster effects and also stop spells and traps in the same column, which is absolutely amazing to be able to do. I love that about this card. It's just a really good hand trap overall, and this card is just absolutely broken in this build, along with all the other hand traps in this deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with Trouble Sunny. Trouble Sunny is definitely a 3-of in the deck. This card is our main boss monster. It has the ability it takes 2+ monsters, including an evil twin monster, which you're usually just using your copy of evil twin Kiss-a-Kill and evil twin Lilla to be able to make this card. This card has the ability that if this card's on your side of the field, quick effect, you contribute this card to special summon up to 1 Kiss-a-Kill monster and a Lilla monster from your graveyard, instantly putting your twins back on your side of the field. This card also has a crazy powerful effect that you can banish this card from the graveyard and then send an evil twin monster from your hand, deck, or face from field to the graveyard to send a card from the field to the grave, which is a great effect to be able to use, especially to send your copy of Kiss-a-Kill and Lilla from your deck to the graveyard to instantly be able to use this card to get rid of a card off the field non-targeting. This card is great in the build to be able to use and amazing to be able to just banish and then send a card from the field to the graveyard, especially since we can send our big copy of Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill and Lilla from our deck to the graveyard so we can summon it back later. We then play 3 copies of Kiss-a-Kill. Kiss-a-Kill is definitely a 3-of in the deck. This card has the ability if this card is special summon and you control a copy of a Lilla monster, you can draw a card, and also during the main phase, if you do not control a Lilla monster, quick effect, you can special summon a Lilla monster from your graveyard, which is a great effect, but it does lock you into Fiends for the rest of the turn. We then play 2 copies of Lilla. Lilla is definitely a 2-of in the build, because this card is ability if this card is special summon and you control a Kiss-a-Kill monster, you can target a card on the field and destroy it, which is a great effect to be able to use just to help you pop a card on the field. Also, during the main phase, if you do not control a Kiss-a-Kill monster, quick effect, you can special summon Kiss-a-Kill from your graveyard, but it does also lock you into Fiends, just like your copy of Kiss-a-Kill. We then play a single copy of Unchained Abomination. Unchained Abomination is great just in case you get Fiend locked and you do need to pop cards on the field, as this card can pop up to 3 cards on the field for absolutely no reason. It has the ability if a card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, except a copy of Unchained Abomination, you can target it on the field and destroy it. When another monster is destroyed by battle, target a card on the field and destroy it, and also during the end phase, just because it's the end phase, target a card on the field and destroy it. This card just destroys cards for absolutely no reason, and it's really cool to be able to play in the deck as a 1-of. We play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's great in the deck as a 1-of, just to be able to summon out to your side of the field. This is an absolutely massive boss monster. You can pop multiple cards on the field. It's just really good overall in the deck, and it helps you just pop a bunch of cards on the field and go in for game. We play a single copy of Transcode Talker. Transcode is really good in the deck as a 1-of, because this card is super easy to summon out to your side of the field, and actually bring back a Cyverse monster from your graveyard, because when this card is co-linked, it's co-linked, monsters gain 500 attack. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects, target them with card effects. Also, you can target a Link 3 or lower Cyverse Link monster in your graveyard, and then special summon it back to your side of the field zone this card points to, making it super easy to climb into your copy of Access Code so you can OTK. We play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn is great to be able to spin cards off the field. Plus, it's a fiend monster, so you can easily make this card in the deck. One copy of SP. Little Knights use this card as a double interruption, which is great to be able to do. And I absolutely love that about this card. It's super easy to summon off of IP. Plus, it goes along with the lore of the deck, which is great. We play a single copy of IP. IP is great in this build as a 1-up. Basically, make your copy of SP or your copy of Unicorn during the opponent's turn. We then finally play a single copy of Typhon. Typhon is amazing in this deck as a 1-up to just summon out to your side of the field because it's a fiend monster. So if you do get fiend locked, you can still summon it out. But it's a great card to be able to make to break your opponent's board. And overall, a fantastic card in this deck to be able to summon out. You can change it out if you want to for a copy of Underworld Goddess, which is also a fiend monster that you can make in this deck if you want to go a solid Link extract. But it is a really good option to be able to play a copy of Typhon to basically just bounce cards off the field. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played an Evil Twin deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try on Master Duel, especially since we just recently got an awesome bundle for this deck, and it's really, really fun to be able to play. So, that's going to be for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell and there so you can get our notification squad. We'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.